What's up, Guardians? Zeus here, and today we're diving into one of the most talked about heroes in Hero Wars right now, Cascade. From the very first look at her skills, it's clear she could completely reshape the battlefield. But here's the catch, everything we're breaking down today is based on the skill image posted by the game officials. Once the actual numbers come out, we'll have a clearer picture of just how powerful she really is. Still, even at this stage, the potential synergies and game-changing effects are too big to ignore, and you're going to want to hear all of it. Cascade is a magic-based hero, so the first step in preparing for her development is to start collecting intelligence, skin stones and crystals for her ascension path. Since she is positioned in the middle line, she'll be relatively safe from early damage while still being close enough to deliver strong support and damage. Let's begin with her first skill, Hydrokinesis. When activated, it summons a powerful downpour that deals magic damage every second to enemies for 6 seconds. During the rain, enemies receive less healing and cannot be resurrected. Now, what does this really mean in practice? This single ability already feels like it could reshape the way we approach battles. For years, Morrigan and Jet have been considered key pieces when it comes to countering Rufus, because of their importance in blocking resurrection and manipulating healing. But Hydrokinesis brings something bigger to the table. It offers more utility, more consistency, and more impact for magic teams. That's why we can expect Cascade to be slotted not only with Krista and Lars but also with other strong magic-based heroes like Amira, Folio, Orion, and Augustus. Naturally, there's obvious synergy with Lars and Krista since they already work within the watermark mechanic, but Cascade broadens those possibilities dramatically. Another point to note is that Astaroth's ability to resurrect allies simply won't work while Hydrokinesis is active. And when we read the line about enemies receiving less healing, it doesn't just reduce healing, it has ripple effects across many heroes. Think about every source of vampirism, Ishmael, Galahad, Lyria, and even those boosted by allies like Dorian. Their life steal will be weakened. So, just with her first skill, Cascade looks like a direct counter to a wide pool of heroes. Moving to her second skill, Tidal Wave. The hero transforms into an unstoppable wave that surges through enemies, dealing magic damage and scattering them in random directions. On paper, this skill sounds flashy, but it comes with both strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with the positives. Cascade has particularly high synergy with Krista's frozen needles. Here's why. When Cascade scatters enemies, Krista's skill continues to hit, and with watermarks being applied, we get a double layer of synergy. First, there's direct synergy in terms of damage, as Krista continues to punish enemies. Second, there's synergy in terms of healing, since Krista and Cascade convert 50% of their damage into healing. If the timing of their skills lines up, this combination can create devastating results. On the flip side, there are drawbacks. Cascade's scattering effect breaks the positioning that some heroes depend on for area-based attacks. For instance, Heidi's mushrooms deal damage in a specific area, but if enemies are scattered away, that damage becomes unreliable. Aurora has similar challenges, as does Arachne, who loses her ability to consistently stun multiple heroes at once. Even Lilith, Augustus, Peppy, and Folio could feel some dissonance depending on how the wave moves enemies. I wouldn't say these synergies are completely broken, they're just inconsistent. Krista, for example, can still hit all enemies regardless of their spread, so she remains strong. But for heroes like Heidi, the disruption could significantly weaken their output. Next, we move to her third skill, Refluence. When returning during Tidal Wave, the hero applies the watermark effect to enemies for 5 seconds. Whenever a marked enemy takes magic damage, they suffer additional magic damage. This is where Cascade doubles down on her synergy with Krista. Both heroes can apply watermarks, and when they are used together, you're essentially stacking extra damage and healing triggers. Every hit from Krista's frozen needles not only hurts but also activates Cascade's additional magic damage, multiplying the impact. There's also a subtle detail here that's easy to overlook. The wording specifies that marked enemies take additional magic damage whenever they are hit by magic. This instantly creates bad synergy with Augustus. Why? Because Augustus converts magic damage into pure damage. If it's pure damage, then Cascade's extra effect doesn't trigger, which means the combo falls flat. It's a hidden limitation that players will need to keep in mind when building teams. Finally, we arrive at Cascade's violet skill, Elemental Surge. Cascade empowers allied heroes whose primary attribute is intelligence. Basic attacks of empowered heroes deal magic damage, and the amount of damage depends on their magic attack stat. This one is harder to evaluate without knowing the exact percentages, but it has the potential to be absolutely massive. If it scales based on 100% of the hero's magic attack stat, this could be a true game changer, on the level of Augustus and Lyria. Let me explain. The description clearly states that intelligence heroes will have their basic attacks transformed into magic attacks, and the damage is tied to their magic attack stat. That wording strongly hints at a full conversion. If that assumption proves correct, the early game power output would be staggering. Take some common examples. Thea can reach over 120k magic attack, and Martha often sits above 110k. If all 5 heroes on your team start firing basic attacks with those stats converted directly into damage, you're looking at 700k plus magic damage within the first 10 seconds of battle. That's enough to shred through tanks almost instantly. And here's the most shocking part: Isaac, who has around 400k health and typically relies on his anti-magic toolkit, wouldn't even survive the opening exchange. Most players don't prioritize developing magic defense skins or stats, which makes this even scarier. And here's something that could make this synergy even bigger. If Cascade really converts basic attacks into magic damage, then Augustus with his superconductivity skill could take it one step further by turning those attacks into pure damage. That means instead of just amplifying magic pressure, you'd be stacking Cascade's effect with Augustus conversion, creating a terrifying combo that could melt through defenses faster than anything we've seen before. Again, this is just speculation until we see the final numbers, but if it turns out to be true, Cascade won't just be another addition, she'll redefine how magic teams are built and completely erase Isaac as a tank option. So, to wrap things up, Cascade is looking like a hero who can shake up the battlefield in a big way. From Hydrokinesis shutting down healing and resurrection, to Tidal Wave bringing both power and disruption, to Refluence stacking devastating watermarks, and finally Elemental Surge potentially turning your whole team's basic attacks into raw magic firepower, she's got everything to change how magic teams play the game. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Cascade is going to rise straight into the meta, or do you see some weaknesses that could hold her back? Drop your thoughts, theories, and team ideas down in the comments. I'll be reading and jumping into the conversation with you. If you enjoyed this breakdown and you want to stay ahead of the curve in Hero Wars, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next strategy update. And remember, knowledge is power, and power wins battles. Stay sharp, Guardians, and keep pushing forward. Salute and friendship.